Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2013. This morning, President Vladimir Putin of Russia was awakened by civil aviation authorities indicating that missiles were streaking across the eastern Mediterranean. It developed that the United States and Israel were conducting a missile test, apparently part of an anti-ballistic missile defense system involving an American-made Sparrow missile. Test was apparently a success. This is all, of course, in connection with the pending discussion concerning Syria that's going to occur in the U.S. Congress. American Senator John McCain announced this morning that he supports President Obama's proposed use of military action against Syria for the use of chemical weapons against civilians. More to come on this. The debate apparently will begin this week. The UN report is going to be forthcoming sometime early next week, and apparently both France, the UK, and the United States are awaiting some final determination before concerted action is taken. Meanwhile, over the weekend in Shanghai, a liquid ammonia leak from a refrigeration unit from a company that was a cold storage industrial unit called Shanghai Wengpai ended up killing at least 11 people. The death toll is now up to 15. It's also sick in 26 others. The incident occurred in the city's northern district of Baoshan. According to the company's website, it's engaged in the import and export of aquatic products. About 700 firefighters in Portugal continue to fight wildfires across the country. This is after a period of calm was interrupted by fresh suspected arson attacks. About 48 new outbreaks have been reported since midnight Saturday night. Apparently, some intense winds had calmed down. Firefighters had gained a handle on the existing fires. The authorities were feeling pretty good because of containment, and then apparently there's been a spate of arson attacks going on. Spain, France, and Croatia have all now responded to Portugal's pleas for additional firefighting help, but they apparently have an intensive arson situation going on. Aon Benfield Securities has come out with a report saying that the market for insurance-linked securities and catastrophe bonds has reached a record of $17.5 billion in outstanding cat bonds. This is after about $6.7 billion of new issuance in the 12 months that ended on June 30th, 2013. This has helped the amount of active cat bonds in the marketplace reach an all-time high. There was some substantial seismic activity over the weekend. On Friday afternoon, there was a 7.0 earthquake off the coast of Alaska, about 57 miles from Adak in the Aleutians. No reports of any damage or injuries. There was no tsunami alert issued. And then on Sunday, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, there was a 6.5 magnitude earthquake in eastern Indonesia. No reports of any damage or injuries, nor was there a tsunami alert issued. Apparently, Aon Benfield has angered a number of insurers. This is according to the Insurance Insider in the terrorism insurance market. Aon Benfield is proposing a $250 million facility that would see it assume binding authority or delegated authority. They would write the business themselves on behalf of insurers for its British business in exchange for enhanced commissions. Aon already has two traditional line slip facilities. They have two delegated authority facilities in place in the terrorism market. Both of these facilities are priced by lead markets such as Catlin. Apparently, Aon is proposing something that would enhance that significantly and also obtain for them greater commissions. There's not any detail available yet. Over the weekend, more news was coming out about the Fukushima nuclear plant northeast of Tokyo. Apparently now the radioactive water that's leaking has been deemed to be 18 times higher in contamination than had previously been thought. Now apparently exposure to it for only 4 hours will present a fatal dose. This morning the Japanese government announced that it's going to spend $470 million on a subterranean ice wall in an attempt to stop leaks from the crippled Fukushima reactor. The Fukushima reactor is going to take 40 years to be decommissioned. This means that seawater has to be poured over the unit for 40 years to keep it cool. The seawater that does not evaporate into the atmosphere is heavily contaminated. The Japanese have built 1,000 holding tanks so far in the Fukushima area in order to hold the contaminated water after it passes over the reactor. They're building water tanks in a frenzied manner because they're developing some 350 tons of contaminated water a day. What's occurring is that those water tanks are leaking. What the government is now proposing is to build an ice wall 100 feet deep surrounding the whole complex in order to prevent any further runoff. It's not known whether or not this is technologically feasible or not, but there's another factor at work here. Apparently, later this week, the Olympic Committee is going to determine where the 2020 Olympics are being held, and Tokyo considers itself one of the finalists. So the government is intent on proving that they can handle the contamination effect. Of course, the 2020 date is well within the 40 years of decommissioning, so it's not quite known how this is all going to work out. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.